Hi, I'm back with part 2 of videos on burnout. If you saw the part 1 video of overload burnout, well, this is the second part of understanding the 3 types of burnout. And this one is neglect burnout and how you can begin to overcome it. Do go back and check out overload burnout if you haven't seen it already. But before I do, and go ahead and dive into neglect burnout, let me give you a brief recap of overload burnout. Overload burnout occurs when you work harder and more frantically to achieve success, often to the detriment of your own health and personal life. This type of burnout that most people are familiar with is also one of the most common burnouts. Now remember, throughout, please like, share and subscribe. Let's dive in to neglect burnout and what it is and how you can begin to overcome it. I would like you to take a moment to bring to mind a person who you know who's burnt out, because you're likely picturing someone who is overbooked and overwhelmed, drowning in multiple demands and competing with their priorities. But burnout is far more than simply being busy all the time and tired. For years, it was believed that everyone reacted to chronic workplace stress in the same way, but research has revealed that burnout manifests in different ways for different people, and that depends on the work environment as well as the internal resources that they have, including their dedication to the job and their coping mechanisms. So let's take a closer look at the second type of burnout, neglect burnout. This type of burnout is the worn out subtype, the worn out subtype. This is also called the neglect burnout because it can result from feeling helpless in the face of challenges. Neglect burnout occurs when you aren't given enough structure, direction, or guidance in the workplace. You may find it difficult to keep up with demands or otherwise feel unable to meet expectations. Over time, this can make you feel incompetent, frustrated, and uncertain. The worn-out worker copes through learned helplessness, which occurs when a person feels unable to find solutions to difficult situations, even when ones are available to them. In other words, people with learned helplessness tends to feel incapable of making any positive difference in their circumstances. In other words, when things at work don't turn out the way they should, those with neglect burnout become passive and stop trying. So what are the signs that you need to look out for? You stop trying when work situations don't go as planned. You give up in responses to obstacles and setbacks that you face at work. You feel demoralized when you get up in the morning and have to face another day at work. Let's look at how to address neglect burnout. Find ways to regain a sense of agency for your role. Try creating a to-don't list rather than a to-do list. What can you get off your plate by outsourcing, delegating, or delaying? Look for obligations you need to say no to altogether and hone the skill of setting stronger boundaries. A great place to start is by identifying situations where you feel an intense sense of resentment. This is an emotional signal that you need to put healthier limits in place. Likewise, consider talking to your boss, your manager, your CEO about your workload. You could explain how you're currently spending your time and ask, are my priorities consistent with yours? What would you like me to change? Or if we could take project A off my plate, then I'd have more time to focus on our team's strategic priorities and ultimately deliver on the key goals we've all evaluated against. Now, your manager will likely be thrilled you're thinking about the bigger picture and taking the initiative. Most importantly, focus on what you can control. Outside of the office hours, be bullish about self-care. Create routines and rituals that ground you, such as daily walking, journaling practice, meditation. When you feel helpless about changing tides at work, some semblance of predictability is essential. Remember that people don't burn out in the exact same way or for the exact same reason. It is important to identify the type of burnout that you may be facing. You may even be dealing with a mix of one or two of these types of burnouts. Determine on where you're at. Make it easier to find a targeted solution to solve the specific challenges that you have ahead of yours. So, quick summary of what I've been talking about in terms of neglect burnout. That people don't burn out in the exact same way or for the exact same reason as I said earlier. Because of this, it's important to identify the type of burnout that you may have so that you can deal with them adequately, because it could be a mix of one or two or more of these. So on my next video, the third part is all about under-challenged burnout. Do you fall into that category? Okay, I'll be telling you about the signs to watch out for and tips on how you can overcome them. I hope that this video on neglect burnout has been valuable in knowing what it looks like exactly and how you can begin to overcome it. Please like, share and subscribe. Check out the video of overwork burnout and stay tuned for the next video coming up, which is under challenged burnout. Now, if you would like support in stopping yourself from burning out the candles at both ends, then please do get in touch with me. Let's talk and work out a plan together so I can help you. I'm Zeenat Noorani, a Mindset and Wellbeing Coach, here to empower you to live the life that you desire by helping you find and forge your path in life.